Hi friends, welcome to my channel Series Scribe. Today's video is going to be little different. I'll be sewing my scrunchies while talking to you all about my startup initiative focused on upcycling of fashion waste and why is it important for us to start thinking seriously about fashion waste and how upcycling can be very helpful to reduce or mitigate the issue of fashion waste. Most of us don't realize that fashion is one of the most polluting industries in the world. So let's dive into the video. My startup initiative is a home-based business. I have set up a very small office corner in our guest bedroom with a simple sewing machine setup and a computer table where I handle my business queries and other communications. I truly believe that every journey starts with a small idea and we step into it with a lot of hope and passion. It's been 5 years since I started my upcycling business, and it's been a roller coaster ride with a lot of learning, full of ups and downs, I must say. From facing industry giants to managing projects, leading teams, developing ideas from scratch, and figuring things out along the way all by myself, it's been a big learning curve to me. As a startup founder, I have worn multiple hats and I still do, and every experience added to shape up this journey of mine. To those who are new to my channel, I'd love to share a little bit about my startup initiative, Scrapplique Galore. It is a passion project where I focus on upcycling fashion waste and transforming it into meaningful and sustainable products. From handmade fashion accessories to sustainable art pieces, every item is created with hygiene, care, and purpose. If this is something that resonates with you, I'd be so grateful for your support. So please stay tuned to this video and join me in my journey. One of my achievements so far has been having my work recognized by Singapore's Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment. They featured Scrapplique Galore in an article on their official website Medium, where they shared my story, the mission behind my initiative, and how upcycling fashion waste can play a key role in building a more sustainable future. It was such a proud and humbling moment for me, not just because of the recognition, but because it affirmed that small and grassroots effort like mine can contribute to a bigger conversation. Being acknowledged by a national body reminded me that the work I do, even from a small house setup, matters. It continues to motivate me to keep pushing forward, creating, educating, and growing my startup initiative with purpose. Here you can see me sorting through a batch of well washed clothes, carefully selecting those fabric pieces to turn into hair accessories, mainly scrunchies. I am currently preparing these products for an upcoming event where I will be showcasing and selling them at the Green Bazaar. I live in Singapore, a country that actively supports green initiatives like mine and encourages individuals and small businesses to contribute to building a green economy. What I truly appreciate is how open and supportive the people here are. They are eager to learn about eco conscious efforts, and many go out of their way to show their encouragement as well. Whether it is a kind word, a pat on the back, or choosing to invest in handmade products or sustainable products, their support means the world to small businesses like me. It reminds me that purpose driven work has always value. So, today I will be moving my sewing machine to the living room so I can chat with you all while I work on sewing these crunchies. So, building a startup company hasn't been that easy. It's one that comes with its fair set of thorns, and that's largely because I have chosen to work with something most people overlook or avoid because it is waste. And in my case, it is fashion waste. Before I share the challenges I faced, I want to take you back to where it all began, to a moment that planted the first seed in my mind. It was in 2020, the world was in lockdown, everything was uncertain, but in that stillness, many of us found to explore our own interests. Some people took up baking, some learned music, others turned their hobbies into small startup businesses. At that time, I was casually browsing YouTube videos looking for some inspiration videos, and I came across a video about textile waste and environmental pollution it causes. I had never really thought of textiles as waste before. I always thought clothes were made out of organic materials like cotton, wool, etc. But I never imagined what actually happens to them once they are out of our closets or once they end up into landfills. Upon learning about textile waste, I started diving deeper into watching more videos, reading articles, absorbing whatever content I could. So I learned that when clothing made from synthetic materials end up into the landfills, they break down. Without oxygen, it releases harmful chemicals, including methane, which is one of the most potent greenhouse gases. This realization hit me very hard. Something that we wear every day as clothing, something we rarely think twice about and discard, was actively harming the planet. This led me to read more books like To Die For by Alden Weaker, and within a week's time, I found myself completely immersed in this world of fashion waste and sustainability concept in general. So, after gaining all that knowledge, I really wanted to do something towards reducing fashion waste. That's when I discovered upcycling, the process of taking discarded materials and transforming them into something of greater value or quality by not breaking them down like in recycling process, but reimagining them in a way that respects the material's original form while giving it a new purpose. So the idea of upcycling felt so powerful, and it wasn't just about reducing waste, it is all about shifting perspectives, turning what's seen as useless into something beautiful and functional. And that's how this journey has begun, not from a grand plan, but from a quiet and genuine moment of awareness. From watching a YouTube video, feeling something deeply, and choosing not to look back. After a lot of background work, I slowly began developing my sewing skills. I started experimenting, creating different products from fashion accessories to home and living items. And once I gained enough confidence in what I was making, I decided to take a leap and turn this passion into a business. That's when I came up with the name Scrapplique Galore. It felt right because it's something that reflected both the idea of working with scraps and celebrating creativity in abundance. I started it small, simply by creating a Facebook page initially. Initially, I'd post videos and photos of whatever I was making at that time. In the beginning, a few friends supported me by buying my products, and honestly, their encouragement meant everything to me. It helped me cover my initial costs like buying sewing tools, materials, and other essentials. Luckily, I already had an old sewing machine, so I didn't had to buy another sewing machine. Of course, I can say that this is a familiar story for many startups. Funding is always a major challenge for all the startups. Along the way, I had to teach myself about managing finances, things like budgeting, bookkeeping, understanding investments, and returns. Frankly speaking, I was juggling a lot, wearing multiple hats, and learning about all the business skills. From designing and stitching products to taking photos, creating social media content, writing captions, editing videos, and basically learning how to run a business. It was really overwhelming but also deeply fulfilling. But when it comes to challenges, especially in a field like this, the struggle is very real. As I work with old clothes and discarded materials, what many people simply call waste, and that in itself raises a lot of questions. In the early days, many of my own friends and family questioned the hygiene of using second-hand clothes. Some appreciated the creativity but couldn't get past the idea that these were, after all, old clothes. A few also asked, if I can get a new product at the same price, why would I buy something made from used fabric or a discarded material? Others were even uncomfortable with the concept, dismissing it altogether because it involved discarded materials. I did not take it personally, even though it stung me sometimes. Instead, I tried to understand where they are coming from. I put myself in the shoes of a consumer, and what I realized was that their concerns were valid, but they came from a lack of awareness. The truth is, even I didn't know much about fashion waste until that one video changed my perspective. So I couldn't expect others to understand unless someone made the effort to explain. That's when I shifted my focus from just making products to starting conversations and raising awareness. I began engaging people through talks, symposiums, and workshops. I wanted to educate, to share what I had learned about fashion waste and its very real impact on our planet. Over time, I had the opportunity to conduct several workshops and exhibitions in Singapore. I collaborated with educational institutions, corporate organizations, and community groups, developing projects and seeing them through from concept to execution. One of the most empowering parts of this journey has been seeing how Singapore as a country is embracing sustainability. With the SG Green Plan leading the way, initiatives like mine have gained credibility and momentum. That support from the government, the public, and the community has given me the confidence to keep moving forward. Now I am deeply determined and dedicated to my work of upcycling old clothes with a strong focus on sustainability and social impact. My initiative aims closely with several of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. My long term vision is to expand Scrapplique Galore by providing job opportunities to at least 10 tribal women in India, offering them upcycling skills and stable income sources. These plans are really close to my heart, and I am aware of the areas where I still need support, especially in marketing and sales. At this stage, I am actively seeking guidance, collaboration, and potentially green fundings or venture capitalists to scale this initiative and make a deeper impact. With the right support, I truly believe this small venture can grow into something that changes lives and contributes meaningfully to a greener future. I hope through this video I gave you some meaningful insights into my startup journey and the purpose behind my startup, Scrapplique Galore. I will see you all in my next video. Until then, stay curious and keep learning.